Hello everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you and ranking in a tier list the three common fruits of Fruit Battlegrounds. So you can see here that I have a spreadsheet, and I'll just open it myself. If how do I zoom out on this? That's better. I'll make it full screen. Can you see that? I think, yeah, you can see that. So here we have how I'm gonna rank them. Yep. So we have 5 points possible for each ability. We have mobility, damage, area of effect, skill required, and obtainment difficulty. And the maximum is 25 points, the minimum is 5 points. And I'm going to be ranking them for you guys because I have all three of them max level. So we should start with mobility. I'm starting with barrier, if you haven't already been able to tell. I am using barrier. So there is not a single move on barrier that moves you at all. There's nothing. So we're going to bring out the spreadsheet, and I'm going to say probably very bad in mobility because it just doesn't have anything. So that's that. Okay, next we have damage. So let's check out the damage. These dummies have all been hit, but we can keep track of the damage. Okay, so 1,159 health. If we use the barrier move, that dealt 55 damage. That is not very strong. It's pretty weak, I would say. It's not the weakest move, I don't think, but it's one of the weakest moves. We have Bubble, which has a nice area of effect and deals 90 damage. So that is a decent move because of its area of effect. Then we have Crash, which if you hold, you can aim it, and you will see that a bubble will just appear. Oh, yeah, appear. Hold on. Have I not been showing you? Sorry. This is Bubble, by the way. This is Barrier. And Crash is just this. That's 60.2 damage, and it's a nice area of effect as well. So the final move is Spikes. Now this is not a area of effect move in a sphere sense, but the area of effect is still a little bit. So I'm going to give it 2 points for area of effect because Bubble, Crash, and Spikes and Barrier all have alright areas of effect. So I'm going to bring this up. The damage, well, it was alright, but it wasn't that good. So I'm going to say 1 or 2. I'll say 1. Now the area of effect was decent, so I'll give it a 2 there. Skill required to use this. I mean, if you're trying to use this in player versus player battles, you'd need a lot of skill, so we'd have to put a low level, but the fact that Crash stops your opponent moving and Spikes is long range helps a little bit, so I'll say you need 2 skill. That is on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the easiest, 1 being the lowest, the hardest. And obtainment difficulty, well, it's easy to get. So that's going to be a 5. And I've just realized I've been putting this in the wrong box. So overall, that is a ranking of 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2, 4, plus 2, 6, plus 5, that's 11. So that is pretty bad, but it's very easy to get, and it's AoE and skill required. As terrible as its damage and mobility. Okay guys, so this is sand. This is the next one I'm going to be doing. Oh, did I? Yeah, I minimized it, not closed. So this is what we're going to be looking at, right? So yeah, right, okay. Yep, that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna review sand. Now, I've got the dummies back to full health, so that it's easier to test the moves. So, no special on 1. Desert Slicer. Let's test it. Oh, okay, that's not a great start. You can use this move from very far away, and it should still hit. Okay, what's going on with that force field? Huh? Let's try it from here. Okay, what? Okay, well it dealt 70 damage. So that's a lot better than the first move on barrier. Because it deals more damage, and it, even though it is less area, like close range, it's very far range reaching, and it's still got a decent AoE. So that one I would say has a 1 for AoE, but it also has long range, so it's a 2 for AoE, and probably a 1 for damage still. Now we've got Sparta. This is that long, pretty decent long, and the full damage is 54. So that's a pretty bad move. However, it can go through multiple people. So, meh. Mid range, and I'd say short range actually, and not very good damage. Now I've got Swamp. So this is like a circle of sand. Very high damage move. Where's he? There. That's the one I don't recognize. So that's 94 damage. Very good AoE. I'd give it a 3 for AoE. And 2 for damage. And then finally we have Sable's Pesado. So got good AoE because of the range. And that. So I'd give that a 4 for AoE. And it deals 130 damage. So I'd also give it probably a 3 for damage on that one. Okay. So I would say mobility wise it doesn't have anything. So 1. Damage, I would give it a 2 because it's better than barrier for the damage. The area of effect I'd say was actually probably 3 in this case because of the range and the like explosions. The skill required would be, it's not super easy to use, but it's not insane, so I'd say 2 to make it work. And the Obtainment Difficulty, it's gonna be 5. That's a lot better than barrier. So we have 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 5 is 13. That is not that much better than barrier, but that is a whole 2 points better. See, damage is better and AoE is better. So, sand is definitely better than barrier. I skipped chop because I realize I haven't got it to max, but I will get it to max next, so I'm gonna do chop next. See you guys then. Okay guys, so now we're on to chop, which is the third fruit of the commons in Fruit Battlegrounds, and I'm in Wano because it's an entirely different day when I'm recording this part. Okay, so, right, let's bring out this. Yep. Okay, so, let's see, we've done sand and barrier. So, let's look for mobility, damage, AoE, skill required, and obtainment difficulty. So, here are the moves. Right, that one brings someone closer to you. This is just a far away attack that has knockback. This is a great travel move because it can go for ages, but it can also hit people for 75 damage. Kind of crazy, you know? So it can 3-shot these 200 health dummies. And it lasts this long, like, I'm holding it as long as I can. Yeah, so that's pretty long, right? And then we have Festival, which is an AoE move. So you can hit within about this area. And we started at 125 HP. How much has he got left? 17. So that's 108 damage. So the damage is alright. If we have a look at this, I'm gonna give it a... Is it mid or good? I would say it's pretty good mobility. I'm gonna give it a 4 because its car move is really good at driving around. Damage, the damage isn't like that good, so it's slightly better than barrier, but it's not enough to get it 2. AoE, yeah, no, this not very good AoE because there's minimal range on 2 of the moves. I'm gonna give it a 1. The skill required to effectively use this to fight people. I'm gonna have to say it's very hard to use to fight people, so I'm gonna also give it a 1. But the obtainment difficulty gets a 5. So basically, if you want good mobility, chop is a great option, but otherwise, no, don't do this. So that is 12 points. So we have barrier, chop, and then sand. So the best common is sand. This is just my opinion. If you disagree, feel free to leave a comment. And I will see you guys in the next video where I review all the uncommons. So stick around for that. Bye!